The biggest weakness in AI video wasn't image quality. It wasn't resolution. It wasn't even camera motion. It was feeling. I could create impressive visuals. It could simulate movement. It could generate dynamic shots. But when it came to directing emotion, subtle facial expressions, controlled pacing, intentional cinematic rhythm, something always felt artificial. Higgsfield has just introduced Cinema Studio 2.0, and this feels like a turning point, where AI stops producing random clips and starts enabling actual cinematic storytelling. Take a look at these results. Notice how the transitions aren't harsh. The motion doesn't feel mechanical. The pacing flows naturally. Speed control isn't something added afterward. It's built directly into the generation process. So in this video, I'll walk you through how Cinema Studio 2.0 works, how to use it effectively. If you check the description, you'll find the link to Higgsfield, or simply search for it in your browser. Once you're on the site, you'll notice right away this isn't just a single-purpose tool. It's a creative ecosystem. Inside the Explore section, you'll see categories like Image, Video, Edit, Character, Vibe Motion, and the one we're focusing on today, Cinema Studio. Let's open it. Inside Cinema Studio 2.0, this is your main creative workspace. There are two core modes, Image, Video. We'll start with Image, because every film begins with a strong hero frame. For this example, I'll enter this prompt. A young man standing alone at a quiet bus stop at night in the rain, streetlights glowing softly, cinematic lighting, dramatic shadows, shallow depth of field. Now, below the prompt, we can adjust our settings. You can generate multiple images at once. Choose your aspect ratio, including widescreen 21:9, but I'll begin with 16:9. For resolution, I'll select 4K for maximum detail. Now let's activate Grid. Grid allows us to preview variations in layouts like 2x2, 3x3, or 4x4. This makes comparing composition much faster and helps you storyboard visually before animating. Instead of guessing, you're choosing intentionally. Now let's talk about character consistency. If I want this young man to remain visually consistent across multiple shots, I can create a character element. Click the plus icon. Upload a reference. Name him Daniel. Add a short description. Save. Now, whenever I type @Daniel in my prompt, the system keeps him consistent across the entire sequence. That's crucial for storytelling. Next, camera and lens control. Click the camera icon next to Generate. Here's where things become cinematic. You can choose your camera format. Select your lens. I'll choose Premium Modern Prime. Focal length, 35 millimeters. Aperture, to create shallow depth of field and isolate Daniel from the background rain. This isn't just generating an image. You're making cinematography decisions. Depth, mood, focus, emotion. Everything becomes intentional. Now let's generate. The results are ready. Look at the reflections from the streetlights on the wet pavement. The soft glow behind him. The subtle separation between subject and background. It feels shot, not just generated. Hover over the image, and you'll see options to download, regenerate, animate, or explore advanced tools. Now let's click Generate 3D Scene. This lets us step inside the bus stop environment. While that processes, let's try Multi-Shot. Multi-Shot automatically generates multiple camera angles of the same rainy bus stop scene. Instead of rewriting prompts repeatedly, you get cinematic coverage instantly. And then there's what's next? This expands the narrative. Maybe headlights appear in the distance. Maybe someone approaches from the shadows. Maybe the rain intensifies. It helps you explore story direction visually. Now everything is ready. Let's start with multi-shot. You can see different camera perspectives of Daniel at the bus stop. Wide establishing shots, medium angles, closer emotional framing. If you like one, you can upscale it or animate it directly. Now, what's next? Here you see narrative expansions. Perhaps the bus arriving. Perhaps someone stepping off into the rain. This is visual storytelling progression, not just variation. Now let's enter the 3D scene. Inside this mode, you can move the camera around the bus stop. Reframe Daniel under the streetlight. Shift perspective slightly. Adjust focal length. It feels like operating a virtual camera inside your scene. Once I find the perfect composition, I click Capture Shot. Now we're ready to animate. Switch to the Video tab. This opens the Director panel. You can add your elements again here. Then select Camera Movement, either manually or let the system decide. Next, Speed Ramping. You can control pacing directly during generation, instead of adjusting it afterward. Set your duration, anywhere between 3 and 12 seconds. I'll choose 6 seconds. Now choose your mode. Single shot, one cinematic clip. Multi-shot, auto, automatically connected sequence. Multi-shot manual, full control over up to 6 individual shots. For this example, I'll use multi-shot auto. I'll paste my prompt, select the starting frame we generated earlier, and change the aspect ratio to 21:9 for a widescreen cinematic look. Resolution, 1080p. Now choose your genre. Action, horror, comedy, Western, suspense, intimate, spectacle. Let's go with suspense. Genre selection influences pacing and motion behavior. You can also enable audio generation and choose to generate multiple variations at once. Everything's set. Click Generate. And we wait. The results are in. The motion feels natural. The rain continues consistently. The pacing builds gently. It doesn't look like disconnected AI clips. It feels like a directed scene. And that's the difference. Cinema Studio 2.0 isn't just an AI video generator. It's built around AI filmmaking, cinematic structure, character continuity, genre logic, and controlled motion. If you want to try it yourself, check the links in the description. Experiment with it. And tell me, if you could turn one everyday moment into a cinematic short film, what would you create? I'll see you in the next one.